So now we're going to look at solving conics questions. This is part 2 of the videos, and there are 4 general ways that it can be done. Ordinary algebra with the parametric form of the conic, the conics mode on your graphics calculator, and the graphic mode on your graphics calculator. And we're going to focus on only the first in this video, and the others and the ones that follow. So this is our problem. How high is the shape at a width of 1.8 meters? And the value we're trying to find is indicated with the question mark, and what we are given is the 1.8 across the top. And from part 1 we already have the equation that we are working with for the semicircular part. So we move it off to the side and we start to look at how we can attack this problem. Well, the 1.8 meters wide is 0.9 on either side. 1.8 splits to 0.9 either side, and because we know the center of the circle is 1.1 across, then there's 1.1 to get to the halfway of the circle, 0.9 to get the rest, which means that we are looking at the point which is 2 meters across from our origin. And the y that we're trying to find is the height at that point. So that y will give us the answer. Well, since we know the x value, well, fairly simple, we substituted in x is 2. And at this point, the algebra works its way through. That is, 2 minus 1.1 is 0.9. We move it to the other side and we calculated what it is. Fairly standard from this point. Expand out the quadratic, move the 0.4 across and solve, and we have our answer. The answer is the y value is 4.33 or 3.07. Well, the 4.33 is what we want. The 3.07 is if the circle continued on in the bottom half. So we can exclude that option, and we have the answer to our problem. The arch is 4.33 meters high when it is 1.8 meters wide. We could also have done it with the simplified version, and of course that makes the maths much simpler, because it's x squared plus y squared at 1.1, but it is hiding this part of the problem. So we look at that, we work out it's 1.8 meters wide, which means it's 0.9, starting from our 0, 0 now chosen to be here. 0.9, solve exactly as before, except this time of course it's much easier because we get straight to a square root, and our answer is y equals 0.63. The minus is if the circle went down, so we can ignore that from this point on because we only want higher. But of course our y is not the height, it's this y value here, and that y value there hides the shift of 3.7. So the height is 0.63, which we did our calculation, and the 3.7 which is hidden, and that gives us 4.33, which fortunately of course is the same answer we got the other time. The advantage of doing it that way, with an arbitrary 0 in the center of the circle, is that the maths is much easier, but we have to be much more careful that we answer in context at the end. Whichever way you do is fine, but if we answer it the simple maths way, you must answer in the context of the question.